Breaking news now before you go. A person was taken to the hospital after an early morning crash. County authorities say it happened just before 4 a.m. near 30th and Harrison.
Breaking news now at the alert desk. 2 Israeli strikes hitting Gaza overnight. This all comes after the Israeli military issued a warning for Gaza City. Now take a look here at your screen. This is a closer look at those attacks. AP News says no casualties were immediately reported. Israeli strikes have been continuing across the Gaza Strip despite that fragile ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. If you remember, it was put in place last October. More than 1,100 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since then. At least 5 Israeli soldiers were killed in that same period. Cerise?
Maria, thank you. More top stories before you go. Former UFC fighter Anthony Smith, who fought out of Omaha, is due in court today. Smith was arrested Monday night. He has since been booked on terroristic threats and first-degree false imprisonment charges.
An Omaha woman is behind bars accused of stealing thousands of dollars from her father. Authorities say Patricia D.C. misspent at least $760,000 out of her father's living trust, and she is a trustee.
Happening today, a somber anniversary. It has been 1 year since the deadly explosion at the Horizon Biofuels building in Fremont. 3 people were killed.
Also today, Nebraska Democratic Party Chair Jane Kleeb expected to address a lawsuit. It was filed by a former U.S. Senate candidate. William Forbes is accusing the party of pursuing what he argues is a sham candidacy.
Cyclospora cases are still on the rise in Douglas County. The health department now confirming 45 cases. Nebraska's cases haven't been linked to an outbreak in 9 other states.
And the Sarpy County Fair starts today. And today's events include 4-H shows, a truck and tractor pull, mutton bustin', and bull riding.